Everybody, do your best Venom voice.
Tori. Try it again.
What's going on, guys? We're the Cinefanatics. My name's Chris Adams.
I'm Robert Adams.
I'm Tori Rose.
And we are here today to bring you guys the review for Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Is there a 2 in this title?
No, there's not. So remember that if we ever play in the First Class League or the Schmodown that...
Exactly. What's that? Yeah. They should have just left it at Venom 2, to be honest. But here's the thing. We are breaking down this review for you guys. First of all, if you like anything that we do on this channel, I know some of you might just be meeting us for the first time, but hit that Patreon link, patreon.com/Cinefanatics. Come support us and everything we do. We got a Discord, we got watch-alongs, we got trivia nights, we're doing all sorts of stuff, so...
We're just pointing all across
wherever
the screen.
It is on the screen.
There might be something on the screen, there might not be, but either way. Let's get into this review. First of all, how do we all feel about this thing?
Well, let's also go, before we jump into it, make sure everyone knows this is a non-spoiler review. We're
Right.
not revealing any spoilers for this movie at all. This is completely safe if you have not seen it.
Yep, we are.
Proceed.
We are not spoiling that Iron Man comes in and saves the day and blows everyone away.
Batman comes in.
Yeah, Batman
kisses
comes in.
Venom.
No,
I think Steven Spielberg's 1010 visits at some point, if I remember correctly.
E.T. shows up.
E.T., that's right, yeah.
we got 8 minutes left of this review.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, how do we feel about this? Because I know, first of all, this movie didn't really do it for me. I'm just gonna start off the bat saying I'm not a huge fan of what we saw.
What were you wanting it to do for you?
Be more entertaining.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the usual movie.
Yeah,
going, yeah.
Usually what I go for a movie for.
Yeah.
The problem for me is that there was just a whole lot of stuff that happened here, and then it didn't all feel connected. And we were introduced to Cletus Cassidy at the end of the first one, and there wasn't a whole connection as to what his purpose was, his connection to Eddie. For me, there just wasn't a whole lot that happened here that I was I'm feeling kind of lost in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I went in here looking for a fun time. I was getting more excited as it was getting closer. I saw the trailer, and I actually hadn't seen the first Venom, funny enough, but I was still oh, this looks fun. It doesn't really seem like I need much information to go into it. But the writing is rough. I found it really cheesy at times. There are lines in here that you wish would have made it, and it just doesn't. There are jokes that kind of land, and then other ones that just really don't. So it was really hard for me to try and have fun, and I was really ready to have fun. So,
yeah. I agree. The writing was a little off every once in a while, but I look at the comic book accuracy of this. Now, granted, the first Venom movie wasn't very comic accurate as far as the origin of Venom. Taking that into account, the origin of Carnage in this isn't going to be exactly accurate. Funny though, it was more accurate to the comics than Venom's origin was. So that's kind of funny how that worked out. There's a lot of other little stuff in there that I thought was really good. Nice nods to the comics and stuff. A lot of it I can't reveal because they're spoilery, but as a comic book fan who knows this character, if you know it too, then you'll see a lot of these connections. You'll be happy with what they did nods to. That being said, yes, the acting was weird in certain places, mostly because of that script, cheesy lines.
I'm still not on board with Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy. I wasn't going into it, and I'm still not.
I'm more on board with it in this movie than I was in that little bit at the end, and it's mostly because of the hair. I'm really surprised how much the hair in the post-credit scene in the first movie was.
Ronald McDonald wig.
Yeah, that's what really threw me off, and then his line delivery of when I get out of here, and I will, there will be great terrible.
Yeah.
They did lines like that again, but I feel like they landed just a little bit better. They still didn't land, but they landed a little bit better than they did in the first movie. So.
yeah, to me it just felt I love Woody Harrelson as an actor. I get excited whenever I see him in a movie. But to me it just felt like he was just a bad guy. I didn't feel a lot of substance there. And again, that could be the writing. It could be Woody Harrelson. I'm not sure. Out of all the acting in this, I thought his was fine. I thought Tom Hardy's was fine. It's just that writing like really got to me.
Yeah, it did feel very thin in places where it just wasn't fleshed out enough. There wasn't enough to there wasn't enough meat on the bones specifically. So
Woody Harrelson in particular, I felt like this was like a smaller version of his role in Natural Born Killers, where again he also plays like a serial killer. That one's a little bit I would actually say his character in Natural Born Killers is more of a Carnage than his Cletus Cassidy in this movie. The other ones I want to point out on this is like Michelle Williams as Anne. I think she did much better in this movie than she did in the first one. She was a lot more livelier. She was a lot more receptive. And it may be because in the first movie she just doesn't know Venom or understand this world. Now she is in this world. She understands that she knows how to communicate in this world with what they're dealing with. Therefore, it made her character was a little bit more fun with the lines and how she interacts with everyone. And then Naomi Harris as Shriek. I thought her character was good. They didn't give her a lot to do. Again, going back to the comic book origins, a little bit different how that plays out in the comics compared to this. But I thought she did enough to impress me with how they built up the character of Shriek in this movie.
Yeah, I wish she got more lines. That's what she really doesn't get much to do in this movie in terms of lines. But again, the writing was pretty bad, so maybe that saved her in the end. But yeah, I agree with you. I thought Anne as a character, who's played by Michelle Williams, was great. I think she holds down the movie. I think her and Tom Hardy have a lot of good chemistry. Again, I didn't see the first one, so I'm not as familiar with their relationship. But even not seeing the first one, they have enough chemistry that really didn't feel like there was something missing to me.
Yeah. I mean, this one really did just feel like, I know a lot of people have been saying it just felt like if you like the first one, this is more of some of the same stuff you get in this one. There's not a whole lot there, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I want to point out was like the conflict between Venom and Eddie in this. It was very like Odd Couple-ish.
Yeah.
Or grumpy old men, depending on like how old you are. A lot of that, there was a lot of that like bickering between them, which felt kind of fun. I know we kind of got it off in the first movie. We got that as well, but that was because they just didn't know each other. Now they're familiar with who each other are. They know each other's personality, and they're still bickering like a new, I don't know,
like a couple of brothers.
Oh yeah. That's a good reference. How did you pull that one out?
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
Or boyfriends.
Yeah, possibly. Depending,
they kind of don't clarify.
Yeah, possibly. The other thing I wanted to point out on this was the cinematography, and by that I don't mean like lavish landscape and great camera
Big
shots,
sweeping camera shots.
Yeah, no, I mean the fact that like especially in the final scene, the final fight. It's lit a little bit better. The last movie was really dark, and you just saw blobby like symbiotes all over the place, and you couldn't tell who's fighting who or what's going on. This was a lot more well lit. The difference that you've got Venom as a black symbiote, Carnage as a red symbiote. It's easier to see and determine what's going on in those fight scenes, so they're done a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's honestly like probably the biggest thing that I liked about this movie was that final fight scene. It's just I knew where I didn't know what was going on in the rest of the movie. At least at that point I know, okay, cool, we got the fight. They're fighting now. I can tell that's what's happening. Even if the camera was like a little weird in places and it was kind of too quick and they couldn't hold onto a shot, I was like, you know what? I like this part. They're fighting.
They're bumping knuckles.
That was fighting.
They're kissing.
Just fighting.
I thought
Fighting.
They're kissing.
They were fighting.
I definitely thought like a lot of the settings were cool. A lot of the imagery was cool for sure. I thought it was very comic booky at the end, with a lot of the, like, you could just screenshot certain moments and it would look like it was straight from a comic book. But again, I agree with you in terms of it's just I was looking for more in terms of a fun action movie. I was really ready to have a rowdy time, and just didn't do a lot for me.
Maybe it
wasn't rowdy enough for me.
If it was like rated R or something, it probably would have been better.
Yeah, I do think that like there were scenes where you can tell they had to cut away really quickly to make it so it was still PG-13. Some curse words, some writing felt. You need
to go back and see when Carnage was in the Saturday morning Spider-Man cartoon back in the 90s. He couldn't do anything. He wasn't a serial killer. He was a psycho. So
yeah. So I think it would have helped if it was rated R. But
yeah.
Speaking of ratings, what are we going to rate this movie?
Man, so I didn't like it. I'll be honest. Was not a fan. Point blank. We're going out of 10 here, so I'm giving this thing like a 4.
Oof.
Yeah.
Tori?
I'm giving it a 3.
Oh,
Ooh.
When I think about, I want to put it on an action movie. I want to put on a superhero movie. I want to put on something. It's not going to be this one. I want to put on something rowdy. It's not going to be this. So that's why I can't give it above a 5 for sure.
Saving Grace.
So here's the thing. I'm going to offer mine with a stipulation on it. This is going to be an either-or situation for me. I can't remember what I rated Venom, the first movie. So I will give it... I liked this movie. It was a fun movie. It was enjoyable. It was very cheesy. It was stupid in some parts, but I had a good time watching it. Again, as a big fan of the comic source material, which... whatever. I did like it. Very well put, I know. I will say I will give this movie a 6 unless I gave the first movie a 6. Then I'll give this one a 7. See how that works? This one is one step up over the last movie. So that's my stipulation on
you'll
my
figure
rating.
out in editing. So whatever pops up down here for your rating will be the...
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be whatever you did the research on and found out on your own.
Watch it be a terrible review.
No, actually, I remember
You like
liking it. I remember it wasn't horrible, but yeah.
Either way, guys, that's our review for Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Did you agree with it? Did you not? Did you like the movie, unlike a couple of us? And, well, whatever. Did you like... Either way, let us know all that stuff in the comments below. Let us know everything, what you thought about this. You can do all that there.
Let us know everything.
Let us know everything.
Tell us your
Tell us
grocery
everything.
list.
Please. Anything that can take this movie out of my brain.
I've always wanted to say this. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell for more reviews
Hey, she's
and other
got it.
videos like this.
She's a pro already at this, yeah. Welcome to the Cinefanatics.
Thank you.
Anyways, like she said, comment down below, hit that like, subscribe. You can hit the subscribe button either down below, or you can also hit the subscribe button. It's still up here above our heads, and then over here off to the side in some direction are a couple other videos that we have made. I don't know at this point. We've moved everything around. Okay, over there. And as always,
Eddie.
Still trying.
You need to wear a mask when you do these reviews. Yeah, 6 feet away.